I think the biggest element of being a Paralympic champion is passion. I think you have to love what you do, and I genuinely am so passionate about what I do. I'm Hannah Cockcroft. I represent Team GB and I race in the T34 100 and 800 metres. So when I was born, I had 2 cardiac arrests within 24 hours of my birth. The 2 cardiac arrests left me with multiple areas of brain damage, and then as I grew, it also left me with deformed feet and legs and weak hips, which is why I use a wheelchair, and also problems with my fine motor skills, so I can't tie shoelaces, I struggle to do handwriting. I actually only got diagnosed with cerebral palsy last year, so up until then it was just brain damage. Nobody knows why it happened, nobody knows what happened, and doctors told my parents that I would never walk and that I would never live an independent life. But here I am. It's a pretty independent life, and yeah, I'm so thankful that this is what I get to do. I wasn't introduced to parasport until I was 12 years old. I started wheelchair basketball, and then from there just was introduced to this whole new world. I found wheelchair racing when I was 15 and found myself on my first international start line when I was 18 years old, so it was quite a quick progression. I think there's a couple of things that I enjoy most about Paralympics. The first one is speed. You're flying around the track and it's just the most incredible feeling. You feel like a superhero. And I think the second is the independence. When you have a disability, you don't have that much independence in life. You rely on a lot of people around you to help you with a lot of things. When I get out on the track, I can do everything for myself. London 2012 was absolutely incredible. If I could return to any moment in my life, it would always be London 2012. It was my first Paralympic Games. I was 20 years old. Getting there was just the most exciting thing ever. And I think getting the opportunity to showcase my sport in front of all my family and my friends, I will never ever forget the sound of 80,000 people. Just that noise was incredible. London was the absolute best time of my life. I would do it every single day. And my journey to Paris has been different. It's been a lot of new learning for me, learning a new coach, learning new training strategies, but so far it's been incredible. Going out to Dubai and doing a 144 in 800 was something that I just never ever dreamed would be a time next to my name. So I knew in that moment that I'd chosen a good coach, I'd chosen a good path forward, and I was in safe hands. So that was a sigh of relief, but also I get the chance to see the girls that are coming through, the girls that I'm going to need to beat going into Paris 2024, and they're only going to get stronger, so I need to get stronger too. So we need to go forward and do a lot of the same work, keep pushing hard. I actually think my favourite part is going to come after the Paralympics, when children have watched what we do and have been inspired and hopefully decide to come and give it a go. You know, that was one of the greatest parts of London 2012, was going back to my home club and having 20 new faces come and try wheelchair racing. You know, we do this to go fast, we do this to win medals, but we also do this because we want people to believe that they can do it too. I think to become a Paralympic champion, you know, it takes the obvious things, it takes hard work, it takes hours and hours of dedication. When I get there and I get in the chair, I genuinely love what I do, and I genuinely want to try every day to go harder, to go faster, to beat a new person. And I think when you lose that passion, that's when you lose the gold. When you don't want to do any better, that's when you start not being a champion. So I think the biggest element to me of being a Paralympic champion is the passion behind it. If you want it bad enough, you will eventually get it.